Have you ever noticed how some men can effortlessly attract women with an invisible power that reaches deep into their hearts? A feeling that sparkles in their eyes, trembles in their voice, hides in their smile. Why do women keep looking back at certain men, thinking about their words before falling asleep at night? What is that invisible force that transforms an ordinary man into someone extraordinary? Today, I'm going to unveil that mystery for you. 7 behaviors that make such a profound impact on a woman's heart that she simply cannot resist them. These aren't ordinary words, not moments that come and go. These are those words etched deep in her heart, making her wonder repeatedly, why is this man so different? Imagine saying something that doesn't just enter through her ears, but directly into her heart, something that touches her in the depths of her being, where no one else can reach. Today, we'll learn 7 behaviors that work like black magic on women, not just attraction, but leaving an unforgettable impression in her memory. These behaviors aren't complicated, aren't difficult to learn, but when you use them, a woman will see you with different eyes. You'll no longer be just another man. You'll become that person for her who can see her differently than everyone else, deep into her soul. This magic begins with your words, your expression, your heart. Let's discover those 7 black magical behaviors that no woman can resist. Magical words 1. Your face seems so familiar, but I don't want to make a mistake. There are moments in life when you meet someone for the first time, and it feels like you've seen them before. But where? It might be in their eyes, their smile, or their gestures. It's one of those moments when you look at a complete stranger, and their face feels strangely familiar, but you can't quite place why. Have you ever experienced that feeling? When you meet someone new, but it feels like you've known them for a long time. Yet many times we push that feeling aside because we lack the courage to address it. But what if, in that moment, you muster the courage to say something that could leave a lasting impression on them? Something that could completely change the direction of the interaction? You might be wondering, how do I even start talking to her? The answer is simple. Your face seems so familiar, but I don't want to make a mistake. This small sentence serves a dual purpose. First, you're showing her that you're interested in her, and second, you're doing so respectfully and carefully. It communicates that you're confident, but you also respect her boundaries and her personality. This first sentence, when spoken correctly, does something profound. It instantly sparks her curiosity. You're not just giving her a compliment or flirting outright, but subtly indicating your interest. Women are naturally drawn to men who see beyond their physical appearance or surface-level charm. They are attracted to men who notice their true personality and essence and express interest in it in a delicate, non-intrusive way. When you say something like this, it triggers a unique response in her mind. First, she might think, do I know him? Have we met somewhere before? Secondly, she might wonder, what about me made him think this way? This creates a positive shock because she wouldn't expect that her appearance, her expression, or even her aura would make such an impact on someone else. But if this line isn't genuine, she will feel it immediately. At that moment, when she looks at you, you transform into an intriguing figure. You become someone mysterious, someone she wants to know more about. And that's where the magic begins. Here's the thing, timing is everything. If she's not interested or doesn't feel a connection, your words won't have the same effect. But if you say this at the right moment, with the right tone, you can ignite a curiosity that will linger in her mind. The more subtle, yet confident your approach is, the more it will resonate with her. Another key element is that after you say this, don't rush to follow up with more conversation. Doing so could come off as forced or inauthentic. If you say this and then give her space, it shows that you're genuinely respectful of her boundaries. You're not pushing too hard, but letting things unfold naturally. It's about setting the stage for potential connection without overwhelming her. When you say something like this, it doesn't just grab her attention, it also creates a mystery about you. Women are attracted to men who don't accept things at face value. When you make an observation like this, you show that you're thinking deeper, beyond the surface. But this kind of conversation has to come from a place of authenticity. If it's not real, it won't work. Women can tell when someone is being insincere. But when you speak from the heart, the impact is powerful. You're signaling that you've noticed something unique about her, something that intrigued you enough to want to get to know her better. This sentence is more than just a casual remark. It's a powerful first step. It sets the tone for building trust and curiosity. It shows that you're not just interested in her looks or superficial traits, but that you want to know her on a deeper level. And when you establish that connection, even with something as simple as this sentence, it stays with her. It plants the seed for future engagement, and she may find herself more drawn to you. But remember, you have to deliver it right. Timing, tone, and body language are all crucial. If you say it with a confident, calm tone, with eye contact and a slight smile, it will have a much more effective impact. The words themselves aren't as important as the energy behind them. Confidence, subtlety, and respect, those are the key ingredients that make this line work. At the end of the day, it's about creating a lasting impression. Women tend to remember the people who make them feel noticed, respected, and admired for more than their outward appearance. And that's what this line does. It elevates the conversation beyond the superficial, and it sets the stage for a deeper, more meaningful connection. Magical words. 2. I've been wanting to tell you something for quite a while, but now I've finally gathered the courage to say it. Some feelings exist that, if kept silent, leave you regretting later. This feeling comes to all of us at some point in our lives. There are times when we want to say something, but we hold back, thinking it might not be the right time or that it might complicate things. However, when we don't express our feelings, we often find ourselves wondering, what if I had said it? Especially when we have a deep affection or connection with someone. Why do we hesitate to express our emotions? Simply put, it's because sometimes we feel that revealing our feelings might bring unnecessary complications. But in reality, those who take that risk are often the ones who move ahead. This is where the phrase, "I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time, but I've gathered the courage to say it now," comes in. This sentence embodies courage, sincerity, and a respectful approach to expressing one's feelings. Telling someone how you truly feel, especially when it's about love or deep admiration, is a significant first step, one that helps solidify the foundation of any relationship. By saying this, a man not only shares his emotions, but also shows his confidence in doing so. Women are naturally drawn to men who can confidently and honestly express their feelings. And when a man expresses his feelings like this, without being manipulative or fake, it makes the woman feel valued and respected. She realizes that he's not just saying words, but is genuinely interested in her. This type of expression strengthens her feelings toward him, making her more inclined to respond positively. It's true that everyone has certain traits that reflect their self-confidence. When a man expresses his feelings without hesitation, it shows that he doesn't fear vulnerability. "I've been thinking about telling you this, but now I'm doing it," reflects a sense of responsibility and thoughtfulness. A woman knows that a man who openly communicates his feelings is someone who can be trusted and who values her. This simple yet profound action, which seems so natural, becomes a powerful tool in connecting hearts. However, there are still many misconceptions in society that prevent people from expressing their feelings at the right time. We often think, what if it bothers her? Or what if it complicates things? But in reality, when a man expresses his feelings openly, it's not only a positive gesture, but one that makes a woman feel safer and more secure in the relationship. She feels that she's valued, and her emotions are being respected. A woman becomes more attracted to a man who is brave enough to show his true self, rather than hiding his true feelings behind a facade. A man who openly shares his emotions isn't just expressing his affection, he's displaying strength and sincerity. This is something that women inherently value. Women like men who aren't afraid to express themselves honestly and directly. I've been thinking about telling you something for a long time, but I'm doing it now, isn't just a simple statement. It shows the man's authenticity. Women are drawn to men who have the confidence to be themselves and express how they feel in a respectful way. Moreover, this kind of behavior helps establish a sense of trust and respect in the relationship. When a man speaks his mind like this, it not only shows respect, but also conveys a sense of emotional maturity. A woman knows that this is not a fleeting interest or a superficial attraction. It's real, it's genuine, and it's something she can rely on. It builds the foundation of mutual trust, which is essential for any healthy relationship. Now, let's talk about the notion of black magic when it comes to these kinds of words. What makes this phrase so captivating is the sincerity behind it. There's nothing more attractive to a woman than a man who is genuinely honest and brave enough to share his feelings. When a man speaks from the heart, without trying to impress or manipulate, it creates an instant emotional bond. This connection is what makes women feel drawn to him. At that moment, when a man says something as simple as, "I've been wanting to tell you this for a long time," it becomes a catalyst for deeper attraction. The woman knows that this is not just another casual remark, but an admission of something that has been on his mind for a while. It resonates with her on a deeper emotional level, making her realize that he truly values her and their potential connection. This is what makes a man's words feel like black magic. It's the power of genuine emotion that creates an unspoken connection that draws the woman closer to him. The truth is, women want to feel valued, respected, and seen for who they truly are. When a man speaks to them with this level of honesty, it's like a mirror reflecting their true worth. It's not about impressing them with fancy words or playing games. It's about showing them that they are worthy of the truth, that they are special enough to receive such heartfelt honesty. When a man is brave enough to speak his truth and tell a woman what he has been feeling for a long time, it opens the door for deeper emotional intimacy. The woman knows that this is not a superficial gesture, but a real connection. The man's words become the bridge that connects their hearts, and this connection is what makes her feel more attracted to him. At the end of the day, words have the power to change everything. When a man says, "I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time, but I've gathered the courage to say it now," it doesn't just create an emotional bond, it sparks something deeper, something that can't easily be ignored. This is the magic of honest communication, and this is what makes women feel irresistibly drawn to a man who isn't afraid to speak his truth. It's not manipulation, it's simply the raw power of sincerity that captures a woman's heart. So the next time you find yourself thinking about telling someone how you truly feel, remember, your words have the power to create a lasting connection. By expressing yourself honestly and without hesitation, you'll find that the black magic of attraction is not in the games or tricks you play, but in the sincerity you bring to the conversation. This is how you can win a woman's heart, through honesty, courage, and the willingness to speak your truth. Magical words. 3. If only you knew that your smile made today. Beautiful, a smile can change so much. And today, you did just that. Every single day in life feels like a new battle. Some are drowning in office stress, others are exhausted by the pressures of family life, and some are simply crushed by personal failures. Among all the people we see around us, very few truly smile from the heart. But when someone does smile, a real, effortless smile, it becomes a unique light that spreads all around. That kind of smile lifts the mood of anyone who sees it, turning even the worst of days into something unexpectedly beautiful. And at that exact moment, if a guy says to the girl, "If only you knew that your smile made today beautiful," then those words are no longer ordinary. That one sentence becomes a doorway to a profound realization. It's not just a compliment, it's letting that girl know that her small, genuine smile brought peace to someone in a tough moment. It becomes a kind of emotional confession, spoken with respect and sincerity. Do you know what a girl feels when someone says something like that to her? She starts wondering, what did I do that made someone say something so heartfelt? She begins to feel something special within herself. It's a compliment not about her looks, but about a spontaneous action, a behavior, a vibe. And this kind of praise matters deeply to girls because it's not forced or fake. It's rare and priceless. When we compliment someone on their physical beauty, like "you're so pretty" or "your eyes are sweet," even if it's true, many times it feels like a recycled line to the girl. She's heard it so many times in life that she knows who really means it and who's just repeating words. But when someone says, "Your smile changed my day," she realizes this person truly observed her, truly felt something genuine. The depth of this line lies in the fact that it tells her she became the reason behind someone's good moment. That feeling creates a kind of positive reinforcement. In psychological terms, people repeat behaviors that bring them praise or positive feedback. That one compliment makes her pay more attention to the guy, become more curious, because the response she got from him was unlike anything else. Sometimes a deeply emotional statement like this stays in the heart longer than beauty or expensive gifts. By saying it, the guy shows he is observant, sensitive, and human. And women respect this kind of man the most. In truth, every woman carries a deep desire in her heart. She wants someone to notice her little moments, her feelings, her unspoken words. And the ability to understand those comes from a man's emotional maturity. Compliments like this are proof of that maturity. Another powerful thing about this line, it carries no pressure. "You smiled, and it made me feel good. That's all." No proposal, no demands, no fake charm. Just a clear, beautiful expression of a feeling. And the most attractive thing about it, it takes courage to say something like this. And the man who dares to say it becomes someone special in her eyes. Every girl has days when she questions her worth. She wonders, do people even notice me? Is my smile really beautiful? Can I really touch someone's heart? This one line, "Your smile made today beautiful," can answer all of those questions. It teaches her to love herself again. Like moment, lies in how it restores her confidence. It's not about trying to win her, it's about trying to understand her. And when a woman sees that someone truly sees the beauty inside her, she becomes attracted in a way that reaches deep into her emotions. This kind of behavior doesn't just work in romance, it brings a different kind of power to any relationship. It creates trust in friendship, respect in love, and opens up new possibilities in every connection. Many times, a bond begins with a small moment like this, growing slowly over time into something truly beautiful. Is that praise should come from the heart, from feelings, not just about beauty but about actions. A little smile, a genuine moment, When you appreciate those things, the impact is much greater. This script teaches people how expressing love for small moments can make a relationship start in the most unique and unforgettable way. So in the end, I'll say again, this sentence works like black magic, because it's not just praise, it's respect, recognition, and the silent language of feelings. And whoever understands that language is the one who finds a permanent place in a woman's heart. This is that magic-like behavior that simply cannot be ignored. Magical words. 4. I know you're busy, but I couldn't resist the urge to know someone with such a beautiful personality, even for just a moment. Sometimes you have to take a risk to avoid missing the best things in life. When you hear these words from someone, you might be surprised for a moment, but then wonder, is it really necessary to take risks in life? The reality, however, is that it's often this very risk that brings us things we never expect. When you express your interest to someone like this, it's not just a small risk, but rather it's an expression of your inner confidence. Many people think that showing love or interest requires doing something big, but sometimes even a small yet clear sentence can achieve the biggest impact. This sentence, I know you're busy, but I couldn't resist the urge to know someone with such a beautiful personality for just a moment, can leave anyone impressed. First of all, it proves that you're not just looking at someone on the outside, but you want to delve into their mind. Your compliment isn't just about beauty, it's a deep respect for their personality. For a woman, this kind of compliment creates a special feeling that makes her more self-aware. We know that typically, when a woman is attracted to someone, it's not just because of their external beauty, but also because of their behavior, talent, confidence, and personality. Now, if you, as a man, see a woman who is beautiful, sophisticated, confident, and moving forward with her own thoughts, naturally, you'd want to get to know her better. But the problem is, many of us think that expressing our interest requires doing a lot. In reality, it doesn't. By simply speaking your words and showing your attitude, you can let her know that you truly value her. If people knew just how powerful a simple sentence could be, maybe we would all express our feelings more often. I know you're busy, but I couldn't resist the urge to know someone with such a beautiful personality for just a moment. This sentence, first of all, shows your self-confidence and courage. It shows that you're interested in her, but you're presenting it in a way that there's no pressure, no force. You're directly telling her, I'm interested in getting to know you. There's no haste or anxiety in it, rather it's calm, polite, and mature interest. What kind of feeling does this create, you ask? First, the woman realizes that there's no pretense or falsehood in it. This statement directly expresses interest in her personality, and it creates a special feeling for her. To her, this isn't just a sentence, it becomes something that honors her in a particular moment of her life. It boosts her self-confidence and makes her more intrigued. When someone honors her this way, it creates a positive feeling because she knows that someone truly values her. Is this just a sentence, or is it genuine respect? When you compliment a woman solely on her exterior, she eventually becomes accustomed to hearing it. She knows how many times people have praised her for her outward beauty. However, when someone compliments her for her personality, she truly understands that this compliment is based on her own essence. This kind of praise reminds her not only of her external beauty, but also of her inner strength and beauty. How does this increase a man's attractiveness? It can be called a kind of positive reward. As psychology proves, when we praise someone for their good deeds or behavior, they're more inclined to repeat the same behavior. Similarly, when a man praises the woman who attracts him for her personality, the woman feels valuable. As a result, she becomes more attentive, more confident, and more interested in him. This is a feeling that's hard to ignore. It's a type of respect that women feel deeply from the heart, not as a casual flirtation or effort. "I know you're busy, but I couldn't resist the urge to know someone with such a beautiful personality for just a moment." This sentence does a lot. It fills her with belief that the man has truly seen her inner personality and valued her. As a result, she starts to develop her own feelings for him. It's proof for the woman that she has become attractive not for her external looks, but for her true essence, her individuality, and her strength. This makes her more deeply attracted to that man because she understands that he's really seeing her from the depths of his heart. Is that showing interest should never be fake. There's no need to do anything grand to express love, interest, or respect. Instead, what you do must be sincere and genuine. If you really want to make someone understand, your words and actions must carry firmness and respect. It's not about pretending or making an effort, but about expressing your true feelings. And when you do this, it works like magic for her, unmatched and incredibly powerful. This could not only be the beginning of a new relationship, but also form the foundation for a lasting and strong bond that will never break. Magical words 5. If you smile, I'll stay quiet for 10 seconds. If you don't, I'll make you stay quiet for 10 seconds. Joking doesn't just mean making someone laugh. It means creating a comfortable space within a relationship. And that comfortable space builds a kind of bridge where two different hearts can begin to understand each other, feel one another, and slowly become an invaluable part of each other's lives. Now imagine a girl who carries the weight of her daily responsibilities, work, burdens, and silent hopes. Someone who perhaps has unspoken emotions and quiet pain stored deep within her. When you go up to her and say, "If you smile, I'll stay quiet for 10 seconds. If not, I'll make you stay quiet for 10 seconds." She may pause for a second and then smile faintly. That small, playful sentence lightens her heart just a bit. In that moment, she starts to see you differently, not just as a man, but as a source of warmth and emotional ease. When we build a connection with someone, it isn't through elaborate words or philosophy. Relationships are built through the moments where we get to be real in front of each other, with no masks, no pretense. Light humor and playfulness help reveal that true self, especially for women who are constantly judged or burdened with expectations. When they meet someone who can make them laugh, genuinely laugh, they feel a deep, unusual connection. That connection turns into an attraction so strong, it feels like magic. And that magic comes from your words, not spells, but your natural warmth, your sincerity, and your joy. A smile is an emotion that unites people without effort. If you can make someone smile, you've found the key to their emotional world. If you smile, I'll stay quiet for 10 seconds. Within that sentence is a soft tease, a tender invitation. There's no pressure here, no demand, just an open-hearted gesture that says, "Come on, smile a little, life isn't that hard." Women pick up on this message immediately. They realize that you're trying to give them a moment of lightness. That feeling, that significance, deeply touches a woman's heart, because she sees that you're not just noticing her outer beauty, you're trying to touch her soul. Trying to build connection through light humor is a kind of courage. You don't know how she'll respond. You don't know if she'll take you seriously. And yet, you take the step. That courage is the sign of confidence, and confidence is the very quality that sparks admiration and intrigue in a woman's heart. Because women don't want pretense, they want real connection, one that carries joy, honesty, and emotional sincerity. If you are funny, that doesn't mean you have to make jokes all the time. It means you need to bring smiles in a way that makes her feel seen, valued, and understood. Someone who can lift her spirit even for a moment, such a man becomes unforgettable. This kind of sentence plays a little psychological game. On one hand, it makes her laugh. On the other hand, it challenges her. If you smile, I'll stay quiet. If not, I'll make you. There's a teasing dynamic here, a suggestion that you're playful, but also in control. You're a funny man, but you also know when to pause, when to let go, and when to win someone's heart. That mix of lightness and control makes you stand out in a woman's eyes. You become not just charming, but smart, emotionally aware, and mature. Not just a lover, but a companion, a friend, a source of laughter. People often forget that love doesn't always begin with depth. Many times it starts with a simple smile, a playful sentence, or a shared giggle. Because when someone makes you laugh, you naturally lean toward them. When you say something like this to a woman, she doesn't just laugh, she feels curious. Who is this guy? What is it about him that made me feel so light? That curiosity pulls her closer. And at that very moment, the magic begins. Not visible to the eye, but deeply felt in the heart. That magic actually lives within you. It's not a mask. It's not a performance. It's you, your joy, your playful mind, and your desire to truly value someone. That desire echoes in a woman's heart. Because she knows this man doesn't just like her, he wants to understand her. He wants to bring peace to her stressful moments. He wants to know her through her smile and slowly, gently build a place for himself in her life. If you like or love someone, you don't need heavy words or deep quotes to reach their heart. Sometimes a playful line, a light tease, or a moment of laughter is all it takes for them to see the real you. If your humor doesn't cross boundaries of respect, it becomes more than just amusement to her. It becomes a symbol of comfort and trust. And that trust slowly turns into a deep emotional pull, a kind of magnetic attraction, one she can't ignore, one she can't forget. She realizes through that line that you've not only made her smile, you've made her feel seen. And in that feeling, you become something rare, someone who touched her without ever trying too hard, someone who didn't overwhelm her, but instead brought her peace. That's not ordinary charm, that's magic. The kind of magic that begins with a simple smile, but ends in unforgettable connection. Magical words. 6. You're so effortlessly different. It took me a while to realize it. Everyone wants to be different, but some people are effortlessly different. They don't try hard to stand out, they don't crave attention, and yet there's something naturally magnetic about them. Maybe you're talking to a girl, laughing with her, spending time like everything's normal, and suddenly you realize something and say, "You're so effortlessly different, it took me a while to notice." That one line, when spoken sincerely, hits differently. It tells her that you've seen something in her that most people overlook. You're not focused on her face or outer beauty. You've felt her inner vibe, her essence. And that's where the real magic begins, silent, invisible, but deeply powerful. This line works like black magic because it contains depth, subtle praise, and emotional intelligence. 3 things most guys never express. In a world where everyone's trying to stand out through style, social media, or scripted charm, some people naturally glow without trying. It's in their thoughts, the way they connect, their quiet depth. When you tell a girl this, you're not complimenting her looks. You're validating her presence, her energy, her natural uniqueness. That one sentence tells her, "I see you." Not the filtered version, not the performance, but the quiet, calm, real you. And when a woman realizes someone has truly seen her beyond the surface, a shift happens in her heart. She feels a sense of emotional safety and connection that's rare, deep, and unforgettable. This line hits because it's not generic. It's not just "you're different," it's "you're naturally different," and I had to feel it to know it. That's a level of observation and emotional awareness that's seductive in the most human way possible. It touches a place inside her that often goes ignored. Most girls go through life being seen only for their appearance or surface-level traits. But someone who comes along and speaks to her essence, that person becomes unforgettable. She feels rediscovered. It's like you unlocked a door she didn't even know was there. Attraction isn't just about looks. Real connection is built on emotional recognition. When you make someone feel seen for who they truly are, that's when the real attraction begins. That's when you're no longer just another guy. You're someone who gets it. Someone who sees the light inside her that even she might have forgotten was there. That's when you move beyond casual interest and step into the space of emotional intimacy. When you say, "You're so effortlessly different, it took me a while to notice," she knows it's not a pickup line, it's a realization. And realizations are powerful. She feels it in her chest, not just her ears. It sparks curiosity, comfort, and a craving for more. And that's the black magic-like effect. When words don't just impress, they reach. That's the kind of presence that lives rent-free in someone's mind. That's the kind of compliment that doesn't just make her smile, it makes her think about you when she's alone. It creates emotional gravity. You can't fake this, but you can become this. By learning to observe deeper, by slowing down and truly listening to people's energy, their patterns, their silence. When you start to notice what others miss, your words start to carry a weight that no one can ignore. And when you finally speak those words, you don't need to shout, flirt, or impress. All you need is presence. Because when you truly see someone, they feel it, and that feeling is unforgettable. That's the real black magic. When understanding becomes attraction, and quiet words change everything. Magical words 7. When I look at you, it feels like I need to remember this moment a little more. Some moments stay with you even after they're gone, and some people feel just like that. They don't enter your life with any big announcement or dramatic flair. They just appear. Maybe it's in a quiet corner of a cafe, at a friend's get-together, or during an ordinary work meeting. No special lighting, no movie scene music. But when you're beside them, time feels a little different. And if in that moment you say to her, "When I look at you, I feel like I need to remember this moment a little more," you're not just speaking words. You're expressing something that reaches deep into her heart. This is a direct but emotional compliment that tells her this moment and her presence in it matters. And when said from a place of honesty and emotional depth, it creates a spark. A spark that doesn't show on the outside, but starts a fire inside. This is how black magic-like attraction begins. Quiet, powerful, unforgettable. Too often we feel something but don't say it. We think it might sound too much, or maybe she won't understand, or worse, we'll look weak. But the truth is, the man who honors what he feels and has the courage to speak it is always different. Women can sense that, because this kind of compliment isn't about appearance, it's about presence, about emotion, about recognizing something that can't be seen, only felt. When a girl hears, "I want to remember this moment because of you," she might wonder, "What did I do?" But that question makes her heart beat faster. It makes her feel like she brought light into someone's life without even trying. And that realization is one of the most magnetic feelings a woman can experience. The real strength of this line is in how personal it is. It's not copy-pasted, it's not from a script. It's a man's genuine reaction to a moment he doesn't want to forget. And women admire that kind of honesty. Because bravery doesn't always mean climbing mountains or making bold decisions. Sometimes it's simply speaking from the heart. A woman quickly senses when a guy says something that comes from true feeling. She sees him as someone who isn't just observant, but emotionally intelligent. And that makes him stand out in a world full of noise and performance. Never underestimate the value of your genuine feelings. If a moment feels different to you, if her presence makes it warmer, calmer, or more memorable, say it. You don't need a long speech. Sometimes a single sentence from the heart is all it takes. When I look at you, I feel like I need to remember this moment a little more. That one line shifts everything. Because it's not about how she looks, it's about the energy she brings, the way she affects the air around you, the invisible warmth that only she can bring. When you say that to her, you're letting her know she's made an impact. Even if it's small, even if it's subtle, you're telling her that without trying, she made time feel different. And that's something no woman forgets. Women hear compliments all day long about their looks, their outfit, their smile. But very few hear, "You made this moment feel important." That compliment, that emotional recognition, goes beyond words. It gives her a kind of quiet joy that lasts longer than anything flashy or superficial. She'll think about it later, maybe when she's alone. She'll replay that sentence in her mind, not because of what it said, but because of how it made her feel, seen, valued, memorable. That's the kind of emotional resonance that doesn't fade. That's the kind of emotional connection that's rare and therefore irresistible. When a man learns to observe moments deeply, to feel his own reactions honestly, and to speak with emotional courage, he becomes unforgettable. His words carry a quiet weight. His presence lingers. That one moment, that one line, it becomes a memory in her heart, not just for what it said, but for what it made real. That's the black magic-like behavior that works in real life. That's easy to understand, but impossible to ignore. Now that you've discovered these 7 black magical behaviors that create genuine, deep connection with women, I want you to try them yourself. Not as tactics or tricks, but as authentic expressions of emotional intelligence that allow you to truly see her in ways others don't. Remember, these behaviors work because they come from a place of genuine interest and respect. They acknowledge her essence, not just her appearance, and that's the kind of recognition every woman secretly craves. If this video has opened your eyes to a deeper understanding of emotional connection, please take a moment to hit that like button. It helps others discover these insights too. And I'm curious, which of these 7 behaviors resonated with you the most? Which one will you try first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might just help someone else on their journey. For more powerful insights on building genuine connections and mastering the art of stoic attraction, subscribe to this channel. Each week we explore the subtle, powerful ways to become the kind of man women naturally gravitate toward, not through games or manipulation, but through authentic presence and emotional depth. Click the bell icon to be notified the moment new videos drop. The path to becoming unforgettable starts with one step, and I'm honored to walk it with you. Until next time, remember, true attraction isn't created by what you do, but by who you become.